This is your all-in-one video in taking care of type 4 hair, and not just taking care of your type 4 hair but also growing your type 4 hair. So keep watching for all my tips and tricks. The first one I'm going to talk about is pre-poo treatment. So pre-poo treatment is basically what you do before actually washing your hair. So for my pre-poo treatment, I love to do the hot oil massage. There's so many other treatments that I can try before actually washing your hair, but this is one thing I love to use, and the reason why is because it has so much benefits. Also, doing your scalp massaging helps to improve the blood flow in your scalp, which helps to promote hair growth. So that's another reason why I love to do my scalp massaging. So for your oil treatment, you can warm up your oil with just putting your oil in a bowl of warm water. You do not put it directly to a heat source, just put it in a bowl of warm water for it to get warm, and then you apply it to your hair and do your massage. So for this treatment, it's not something that you should leave on your hair because oils do not moisturize your hair. Your hair is going to be dry and can cause split ends and all, and just damaging your hair. So this is what you're going to do before actually washing your hair. Make sure that when you do it, you let it sit for your hair for like an hour or 30 minutes before you actually go in to wash your hair. And there are so many other benefits to doing this. Is that it helps in promoting hair growth, which I mentioned before. It helps with dandruff, also strengthens your hair, also helps for you to get a thicker hair, treats split ends, and prevents hair fall and prevents frizz also. So I love doing this treatment before washing my hair. Just make sure that you do it before washing your hair. Don't do it and leave it in your hair. Please don't do it. It can cause a lot of damage to your hair also. So now I'm done with it. Like I mentioned before, you let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. I go in with my shower cap and just let that sit in before going straight to washing my hair. Okay, when it comes to washing my hair, the first thing I do is that I wash my hair in sections. When it comes to taking care of type 4 hair, is that you can easily get tangles, martins, knots, and all of that, which can cause your hair to break and can cause damage to your hair and increase your hair loss. So the reason why I wash my hair in sections is because I try to prevent all of that. And another thing is that for me to cut down on my wash days, I detangle my hair before washing it. So I do my detangling process first off. The reason why I do this is because it just helps me to cut down on my wash days. My wash days are not as long as it used to be when I started detangling my hair first off. And also it helps you for your head, for you not to actually detangle again, which can cause minimize manipulation and also reduce hair breakage and helps you to retain more length. And another reason why I wash my hair in section is that it helps me to feel my scalp better. I can be able to wash my hair and prevent all those matting, tangles, and my wash day is just seamless when I do this. And also for washing your hair, I'll always recommend you washing your hair once every 2 weeks. That's how I do my routine, and it really works well for me. So if you're looking for a good routine, wash your hair once every 2 weeks. So the next thing I'm moving on to is protein treatment. So protein treatment is not something that you do all the time. It's just something that you do when your hair is feeling dull or dry. And another way I use my protein treatment is that when I'm coming off a long-term protective hairstyle. So I just came off a 3-month protective hairstyle, so I love to do protein treatment to just give my hair that extra boost because my hair has been in a protective hairstyle for a really long time. Another thing I do in my protein treatment is that I deep condition with my protein treatment. I have high porosity hair, so any form of added moisture I can add to my routine to just help my moisture to last longer on my hair. Because another thing you should know is that moisture is good for your hair. Like natural hair thrives on moisture, so anything you can do to add more moisture to your hair, I would highly recommend it. Deep conditioning is something I never skip in my routine. I have high porosity hair, definitely recommend it. So after doing this, I rinse out all that product. Is a deep conditioning mask and a protein treatment, so we're done with all of that. So on to the next thing is my moisture routine. So for me to lock in moisture to my hair after deep conditioning, I do the LOC method, which is the liquid, oil, and cream. For my liquid, you saw that I did my deep conditioning, and I'm also going to add my leave-in conditioner also. Then for my oil, I use the virgin hair fertilizer, and I also use my herbal oil. Then for my cream, I use shea butter. So that's how I lock in moisture to my hair. Like I mentioned before, natural hair thrives on moisture, so you need to be able to lock in moisture to your hair. So now we're going to start off on my moisture routine. I'm just basically telling you my hair is soft from deep conditioning. Your hair is going to feel so soft and amazing. So if you've never tried deep conditioning, highly recommend it. So now we're going to start off with the first section. Another thing you're going to notice in this video is that I work in sections. It's very easy to work in sections, and it helps you to be less heavy handed with your hair. Like you're adding less tension, or you're manipulating your hair less when you're doing it in sections. It just makes my whole process a lot easier when I work in sections, and I'm also making sure that the product get into my hair better. So working in sections really help to get that product in. So when I'm doing my hair, I make sure to focus on my scalp and on my ends, because those are the two most important parts of your hair, especially if you're into length. If you're looking into length retention, you need to make sure your scalp health is important, and also you're taking care of your ends because they're the oldest part of your hair. So you need to make sure they are well taken care of. You don't get split ends, they're not damaged. They're going to break off and eventually cause damage and hair loss. So after applying my leave-in conditioner, which I do not apply on my scalp. Note that I do not apply my leave-in conditioner on my scalp because I don't want to clog up my pores, which can also limit hair growth. So after applying my leave-in conditioner, I go in with my virgin hair fertilizer, which I apply on my scalp and on the length of my hair. Then I go in with my herbal oil, which I'm going to make a more detailed video on how to make your own herbal oil, so look out for that. Then after applying my herbal oil, I go in with my shea butter. This I do not apply on my scalp because it's a very thick butter. But one thing about it is that it helps to lock in moisture. Like it locks in that moisture. Because I have high porosity hair, my hair shafts are open, so I love to use heavy and thick products that can weigh them down and keep that moisture locked in longer. With this routine, my hair stays moisturized for up to 4 to 5 days, which is great because my high porosity hair can never allow my hair to stay moisturized for longer than that. But keeping up with this routine, sometimes I experience my hair being moisturized the whole week, depending on how I'm taking care of it or what I'm really doing with my hair. But one thing I would say is that work in sections. Make sure you're very consistent with your routine, like doing the LOC method, making sure you're washing your hair once every 2 weeks. And also note that your moisture routine you don't have to wait till you're washing your hair before you do your moisture routine. If your hair is feeling dry, go how your hair is feeling, because sometimes my hair can get dry in between the week. I do my moisture routine. My hair is feeling dry, I go in with my moisture routine, which doesn't require me washing my hair. I just go in with my wet damping my hair, go in with my leave-in conditioner, go in with my liquid, like they do the LOC method again, which is liquid, oil and cream, like I mentioned. Just do that every time your hair is feeling dry. Make sure your hair is never left dry because it can really cause damage over time, especially if you're looking into length retention, which I'm very focused on now. So I was doing a little bit of length check because, like I mentioned, I just came off my 3-month protective hairstyle and I've really gotten so much length just by doing that. I'm going to talk more on that later on. So, and the last thing I'm going to mention is putting your hair in like a big braid, like making sure your ends are tucked in. So one way for me to keep my hair moisturized longer, one hack I'm going to give to you is putting your hair back in a big section or in a big braid. It just really helps your moisture to last longer. When I do this and I tuck in my ends, my hair stays moisturized even longer, especially on my ends, because that's where I'm very particular about taking care of my ends. So I like to keep them tucked in so that they don't get dry, they don't rub off on my clothes that can cause tangles or single strand knots. So I'm really particular about keeping my ends tucked in and away from any clothing material or anything that's going to dry them up or get that single strand knots and split ends. So this is my moisture routine. So the next thing we're going to talk about is treatment. I love doing treatments to my hair. Do not underestimate the power of treatment. It really helped in my hair growth journey, increasing my hair growth thickening my hair, and just strengthening my hair. Those are like the three major things treatment do to your hair. So the first treatment I'm going to talk about is fenugreek. There are two methods to making fenugreek. I have a more detailed video on how you can do this, but there are two methods. You can do the hot method or the cold pressed method, but I'll link the detailed video so you can check out. But one thing about fenugreek is that it has so many benefits. You can use it two ways. You can use it as a hair mask, and you can also use it as a rinse. But I usually use it as a rinse because it's more easier for me. Another thing about using fenugreek is that it provides a lot of benefits. It helps in your scalp health. Like if you notice your scalp health is bad, like you have dandruff, dry scalp, try fenugreek water. Then the other thing is that it helps to prevent itching, like I mentioned, for your scalp health, flakiness, all of that. It helps with that. It also helps to prevent hair loss. So that's one thing I'm mainly like, that's the reason why I'm using fenugreek. And it also contains hormone regulating compounds that may help in preventing hair loss caused by hormonal imbalance. So there are so many other benefits to using fenugreek, and this is something I've been using in my routine since 2020, and it has made a huge difference. I also use fenugreek in my herbal oil. I'm going to show you a more detailed video on how I do that, but fenugreek water is something that you can do. I use this in my wash day routine. So after doing my washing, my conditioning, I just use it to rinse my hair. Like it's the last step to my routine. I just put it as a rinse. But in this video, I'll just show you up close on how I use this. But I use it, there are two ways I use it. I use it as a rinse, and I can also use it in my oils or hair masks. I usually don't use it as hair masks because you have to get it out of your hair. So I don't really like using it as hair masks. So I use it, that's the two method I use it. I use it as a rinse, and I use it in my herbal oil. So the next thing is herbal oil. Since I started making my own herbal oil, I've seen so much changes to my hair, and there are so many ways you can use your herbal oil. I'm going to leave all the ingredients on the screen and the benefits. I use moringa powder, I use black castor oil, I use my olive oil as my carrier oil. I also use chepe powder. All the benefits are going to be on the screen, and I also add another herbal oil that I got from a brand just to add more oil to it, like as a carrier oil. I also use rosemary, and the whole process is that I basically just add all my dry ingredients first off, then mix everything together before adding my carrier oil, which is the olive oil. You can add any carrier oil you want. You can use coconut oil, whatever works for you, but this is what I use to make my oil. So I just mix everything together. After mixing that, I put it in a big bowl, then get hot water and just put that in the bowl. This process is just for your herbs to infuse into the oil. So I do this a couple of times. Like also, I forgot to add my fenugreek seed, so I just ended up adding that. It's going to open up and infuse into the oil also. So I'm just going to be changing out the water until that whole process is done. Then I leave it overnight, and basically it's ready. So after you've noticed that the color is going to change, just has infused into your olive oil basically. So after doing that, I'm going to sieve off the shaft because you don't want that in your hair. So this is something that you just use. I used a wig cap to just get it off, but you can use any light cloth that can easily get all that shaft off. Then after doing this, I put everything in my applicator bottle. I always recommend you having an applicator bottle. It just really helps for you to use your oil better. So I'm going to share with you ways you can use your herbal oil. The first one is hot oil treatment. I've already mentioned this before. I use this as my Preo treatment. So I'm just basically showing you again how I do this. I do this on dry hair. After doing it, I just leave it in for 30 minutes under my shower cap, and literally that's all. This is the first way I use my herbal oil as a Preo treatment. So after doing this, you're just going to wash your hair. The next way I use my herbal oil is in my conditioner. So this really helps lock in the moisturizing property of my conditioner. So when I'm done washing my hair, I apply my conditioner, and it really makes my conditioner work well with my hair. So after doing this, my hair still feels moisturized after rinsing out my conditioner. So it just really helps to lock in that moisturizing property, and I'll highly recommend because your oil contains a lot of benefits and it's also adding to your conditioner. Good. The next step is adding it to my protein treatment. I do not do my protein treatment often because at the end of the day it's a treatment. So if you notice that your hair is feeling dull or your hair is breaking a lot, you can go in with a protein treatment. So applying this to my protein treatment really just adds a lot of benefits to it because the oil contains a lot of herbs that help in strengthening and protecting my hair, and my protein treatment is mainly to help to strengthen my hair also. So I apply this just to give it that added boost. And if you want to see a lot of difference to your hair, trust me, adding this makes a lot of difference. Your hair will feel very soft even after rinsing out your protein treatment or washing your hair will still feel very soft. After doing that, I go in with my deep conditioning. If you want to get the most out of your protein treatment, I definitely recommend you deep conditioning with it. It helps your hair shaft. So the next treatment I'm going to talk about is aloe vera. This is something that you can use on your hair in place of a conditioner. So if you don't have a conditioner, this is something that I highly recommend. Even most times I use this in place of my conditioners because it contains so many benefits, and it's also moisturizing your hair. It has a very good moisturizing property that can help to keep your hair moisturized, and it helps to strengthen your hair. Aloe vera has so many active ingredients and minerals that can help to strengthen your hair. It also has fatty acids and amino acids, which is rich in vitamin A, B12, C, and E that play a major role in creating healthy hair follicles. Also, one thing to note is that most of the products we buy, especially conditioners, contain aloe vera, and there's a reason why they contain aloe vera because it's that good. And most of those products, they contain chemicals that are not good for our hair and they're just overly processed. So I really like to make my aloe vera by myself because I get the natural ingredients and all the benefits. So if you want to try out aloe vera, I always recommend you making it by yourself at home. It's very easy, it's not stressful, and this is something I've been using on my hair for years. And leave it as a leave-in conditioner, but most people don't like the smell, but you get used to the smell, so you can just leave it as a leave-in conditioner, or you can just use it as a treatment and rinse it off. But me, I use it as a leave-in conditioner. Is cloves and rosemary. This is something I recently started using, and this is a very good treatment that you can use on your hair, especially if you're looking to grow your hair and increase your hair growth. This is something I started using on my hair like once every 2 to 3 days, and I've seen so much result. So it's very easy to make. I just put it in a bottle and put water in it and let that sit in for a day, and immediately you get this dark brown color. That's how you know that it's ready. Then you drain out all the rosemary and cloves from it, and you can use it on your hair. It's that simple to make, and it has so much benefits. Cloves is known to increase the blood circulation to your scalp, which helps to promote hair growth. It also improves the blood flow and carries essential nutrients to the hair follicles, promoting healthy growth. And also for rosemary, this helps to boost your hair growth by feeding your hair follicles with key nutrients which may result in stronger and healthier hair. Rosemary also improves the scalp health and also helps with dryness, itchiness, dandruff. So combining these two things, trust me, you will see results. So this was my hair. I did a challenge doing this for 2 weeks, and this was my hair before, and these are my results after. Like, this was my result after doing the challenge. I used rosemary and cloves for 2 weeks, and this is how my hair was looking after. So this is something that I've tried and literally worked for me. So if you're looking for something you can try that contains so much benefit and help to increase your hair growth, this is one treatment I recently started doing, and I've never looked back. It has so much benefits, and it's very good. The next thing I'm going to talk about is protective hairstyles. So this is one thing I do to my hair that has helped me to retain so much length and also grow my hair. So if you're looking to grow your hair and retain more length, try protective hairstyles. And not just doing protective hairstyles, but doing long-term protective hairstyles. And one thing you should realize is that not all protective hairstyles are good for your type of hair. So one thing I always say is that know what type of hair you have, whether you have fine hair or thick hair. This really helps you to pick good protective hairstyles for your hair. When I was able to figure this out, I've been able to retain so much length this year just by knowing what type of hair I have. The last and final thing I'm going to talk about in this whole process is your takedown process. So this is something that you should not do when you're in a hurry. This is the last step in your fussy hair or type 4 hair routine. So your takedown process is very important because you've kept your hair for a long time, you've kept your hair long in a protective hairstyle. So the last thing you want is to rush this process and damage your hair and not see that length retention. So this is something that you have to be patient about. I always recommend you using water-based products like conditioner, or using your water just to create a good sleep for you to be able to take down your hair. So this should be done in like, this should not be done in a hurry, and when you're done with this, you notice that you will experience less tangles and less damage when you're doing this. And I always recommend you finger detangling. I don't like using combs or detangling brushes on my hair. Just creates so much tension and my hair can break off. So yeah, this is all I have for you concerning type 4 hair, how to care for your type 4 hair. So hope this video was helpful because this is everything I do to my hair basically, and this is my routine, and I just continue that cycle, and I've experienced so much growth just by doing this. So if you have any questions, leave that in the comment section. Till my next one, bye.